Buenos días, buenas tardes, y bienvenidos a todos. Good afternoon and welcome everyone. Welcome to a community dedicated to providing spiritual tools for living a happy and full life. My name is Karina Shearer, and I am the spiritual director and founding minister here at the Center for Spiritual Living Puerto Vallarta, where we have recently celebrated our third year here in this beautiful community. Today is Saturday, November 21st, 2020, and we're continuing with our annual theme, which is 2020 Spiritual Vision. The topic for this month of November is living as compassionate conduits. And this week, our topic is how engaged is God as us? Each week, we start with a spiritual practice called affirmative prayer, which is also known as spiritual mind treatment. This is a powerful tool and a practical tool that shifts our consciousness so that we are open and available to accept the good that is already present in our life. It aligns our thoughts with all good. So let's move into today's service with intention, as we do each week, with a reading from the Creative Thought magazine. I'll be reading from November 24th, 2014. Just a reminder that spiritual mind treatment is always done in the first person, so I invite you to close your eyes if you so choose, and to take these words as your own. I make good decisions. One intelligence, one God, and one Spirit, everywhere present, fills time and space. It is whole, complete, and perfect. God's presence is within and through my mind and heart as me. Spirit is my source and sustenance. I manage my thoughts and feelings well. Lovingly releasing the past, I am free and clear. I am receptive to new thoughts and ideas. My spiritual intuition produces the highest and best answers to all my inquiries. I check my insights, verifying that they are good, kind, and loving to all. Boldly declaring my decisions, I speak my word, and I know it is effective. My desires are manifested with divine synchronicity, blending well with Spirit's perfection. I move forward, experiencing accomplishment of my goals and dreams with grace and ease. Divine guidance leads me to a life of wholeness, love, joy, and fulfillment. I am grateful that God's inspiration continuously guides me. I am thankful that law produces the perfect effect in time on time. I release my word and let it be so. And so it is. And this was submitted by a licensed practitioner, Nancy Townsend, from Palm Desert, California. So now, as we do each week, let's review together our purpose, vision, and mission statements. Just one moment while I bring this up. Here we go. So our purpose is to awaken and celebrate diversity and to love and serve our community. We do this by means of our vision, which is to educate and support each other so we can create the life we desire that works for us right now. And this is supported by our mission, which is to provide spiritual tools for personal growth and transformation. So whether this is your first time or you have joined us on other occasions, I just want to remind you that everyone is welcome, no matter what path you have been on or who you are, where you've been, who you love, what you look like, what you believe in. Know that everyone is welcome here at the Center for Spiritual Living Puerto Vallarta. Here we teach a philosophy called the Science of Mind. It's a teaching based on new thought and ancient wisdom. And we offer spiritual tools and principles to promote personal growth. One of them we have already shared in the spiritual mind treatment. And as I said, we honor diversity in all aspects so that we can see and appreciate the great oneness that already exists everywhere and within everyone. Each week, we offer a service with an inspirational message. And normally, this is done in a downtown Puerto Vallarta restaurant, but we are still required to wear masks at all times while we're outside our home. So I welcome you into my home. Mi casa es su casa. My house is your house. But we look forward to once again supporting our local mom and pop style traditional restaurant where we'll have time afterwards to enjoy some home style Mexican cooking and to engage in some discussion. Hopefully, we'll be able to come together in December. So watch for updates both in our weekly message on Facebook and on our website for when that occurs. If you have any questions or comments, you can certainly post them here, wherever it is that you're watching, or email me directly and I'll be sure to respond. So last month, we looked at cosmic connections. And this month, we are continuing focusing on living as compassionate conduits. The first week, we looked at divine authority to choose. And last week, we asked, what is God giving us? And this week, we ask another question. How engaged is God as us? Life, love, God, spirit, whatever name you choose to call it, is living out its perfect life as us. It is knowing more of itself as us. The only way that spirit has of bringing forth our values for a world that works for everyone is through us. Spirit is 100% engaged in us and with us. The question is, are we 100% engaged with spirit or just in our immediate world? In form. This doesn't mean not pulling away. It means stepping out in spirit. So how do we step out in spirit? With faith, with trusting and knowing the truth, and with love and compassion through our thoughts and through our actions. Dr. Ernest Holmes said this: man's thought is the activity of mind, for mind without thought or directed consciousness would have no real existence. There can be no existence apart from consciousness, or if there be any existence apart from consciousness, then there is no one, no thing, and no intelligence to be aware of such existence. It is evident that without self-awareness, there is not only no realization of life, but no life to be realized. So in other words, until we set the law in motion with our own thoughts and emotions, nothing is going to happen. So let's look at this a little deeper with 6 key points today. First, God or spirit is inherently neutral. Second, being spiritual doesn't mean pulling away from the world, it means mastering it. Third, think it, feel it, believe it. Number 4, we are each called to action. Number 5, saying nothing is not an option. And finally, number 6, act on it. So our first point, God or spirit is inherently neutral. It's the field of an infinite possibility that organizes everything in creation. The cycle of seasons, the biological rhythms of our bodies, birth and death. It is pure awareness or consciousness, pure potential, which manifests all things. But it does not do of its own volition. The process is set in motion by our thoughts and emotions, whether conscious or unconscious, individual or collective. God doesn't act, we do. So being spiritual doesn't mean pulling away from the world, it means mastering it. Even though spirit is the capital truth, with a capital T truth, and the world is just its effects, this doesn't mean that we can draw or that we can withdraw from the world and think we are closer to spirit. This is not the time to sit on the cushion and be around only people who don't read the news and try to live under a rock. We must learn how to master our thoughts and our minds, no matter what is going on around us. Here's a quote from Socrates. To move the world, we must first move ourselves. Our actions follow our thoughts, in other words. So think it, feel it, and believe it. In order to create any sort of change in the world, we must first set an intention and then spend time every day sitting in that feeling of what we desire, either through prayer or meditation or visioning. When you're in this place of faith and knowing, feelings of disbelief will fade away and wanting will be replaced by knowing that the desired outcome is already in existence. It is the conscious state that sets the law of manifestation into motion. Feeling always precedes demonstration. And because this is Thanksgiving weekend, I want to point out that gratitude always multiplies our good. When we are grateful for what we have in our lives right now, it tells the universe that we are open to receive more and sets the wheels of creation in motion. Gratitude and manifestation go together like turkey and mashed potatoes. We are each called to action. A lot has been going on lately. The upcoming Thanksgiving Day holiday in the United States, the recent US presidential elections, and the ongoing pandemic, to name a few. Yesterday was also the annual day of remembrance for all the transgender lives we lost this year, mostly caused by hatred. All of these events and so many more have touched our emotions. So how do we respond? We are God in human form who is watching the world events unfurl and is upset and needs a prophet to take action. We are the rebellious people who have defied God's law. We've been hateful instead of loving, engaged in separation from each other and God. And we are the stubborn and the obstinate who have believed that we are right and others are wrong. And we are the prophet who reluctantly answers the call and is afraid to talk to others who feel differently from us, who might not listen. So, what do? Saying nothing is not an option. I'd like to share this quote from Reverend Dr. William Barber. He said, "Not saying something is not an option. You can't see injustice and say nothing. You can't see an abuse of human beings because of their race, their creed, or their sexuality and not say something. The prophetic call demands that we say something. How will the haters learn that they're wrong unless they learn of God's love?" What's an example from your life where you were reluctant to engage or speak up on something because you were afraid of being rejected or not listened to? Or were you stubborn or obstinate? So just take a moment to consider your response to these questions. And so finally, our last point is act on it. Taking divinely inspired action is what sets intention apart from fantasy. What would life look like if you already had the things that you want? And live as if the desired outcome was already so. Follow your inner guidance, the voice of the divine within you, as you make decisions and do what you feel inspired to do each step of the way. When we are following God's guidance, it should feel effortless and fun. Here's a quote from Gandhi that I have posted on my mirror as a reminder every day. Be the change you wish to see in the world. Yes, it must start with us. So in closing, I don't have to be an activist and carry a picket sign to engage with spirit, but I do have to speak up and do what is mine to do. A new US president was just elected. Whether you support the winner or not, let's remember that this result was chosen through our collective consciousness. We are all one. So that means that in our cosmic democracy, we are connected at the subatomic level. No matter who is president or leads in our communities or household, let us engage on the field of love and be a stand for love in all arenas. Intention is the starting point of everything that takes place in the universe, no matter how big or how small. Every intention we set in the mind of the One itself, in the mind of God. And you can harness this divine power, which is the birthright of everyone, by taking the time to do a few simple things. Firstly, by centering yourself in a quiet place within, where all possibility lies. Then by setting intentions for that which you wish to manifest in the world of form. And then let go and let God handle the details of how, when, where it comes about. And finally, follow your intuition and live as if it already is. And remember, God is only motivated to create when we are. Our affirmation for today: I am and will be a stand for love in this world, no matter who is listening. I am listening and I am engaged. And so now is our time for gratitude. Donations are gratefully received through PayPal on our website or by mailing a check to CSLPV at number 403 2125 Birch Road, Kelowna, BC, V1Y8N1, or you can go directly to our website, which is www.cslpv.org. And you'll find a Donate Now button on our landing page. So I'd like to take this time to thank you and to ask you to join me in our affirmatory affirmations. So if you would like to say them with me: I know that my giving blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I give and receive. I do give eternal thanks for the abundance that is mine to share. So thank you for coming and joining us here today, or whichever day, if you are watching this on a video rerun. Know that you are loved and you are blessed and you are a blessing. If you would like to receive a personal spiritual mind treatment, please contact me at cslpv.org under the contact information page. And also, if you are interested in becoming a member with us here at the Center for Spiritual Living Puerto Vallarta, or if you would like to be on our board of trustees, then please contact us and we'll be sure to send you the appropriate forms to complete. So once again, namaste.